9-9, under 15 to play here in the first half. Missouri has it on their end of the court now. It's with Gordon, DeGray, now Pickett all the way around the court. Pickett has a nice lane to the basket, an easy two-pointer. His first two of the game. Alabama on the other end of the court now. It's with Davison.
Really poor defensive effort by Jaden Shackelford on that one.
Well, he has the ball right now. He'll kick it to Quinterly in the corner. The far side corner, that is. Guarded by Gordon. He'll dribble it all the way to the top of the key. Now try and drive. Kick it out now. It's a corner for two. It's Darius Miles. 3 straight three-pointers now for Alabama. They lead for the first time this game, 12-11. 14-20 to play in the first half.
I mean, not really much you're going to be able to do to compete if they have three consecutive possessions ending in three-point shots.
Missouri has it back on their end of the court now. It's with Caleb Brown. Javon Pickett in the corner now. On the far side, he'll try to dribble all the way around the key, take it himself, kick it out now. It's a three-pointer. Dejuan Gordon, no good, in and out. Long rebound comes off of Missouri last, so Alabama will reclaim possession of it under 14 minutes to play here in the first half. Crimson Tide lead by 1.
I wouldn't even say Missouri's done anything differently. Just haven't had those shots to fall. Being able to drive inside, Kobe Brown now coming back into the game. Having him off the court was a big miss, but it's really just Alabama's getting their shot and they're hitting their shot. And there's not really much you're going to be able to do to defend against that. There's a reason they score 88 points a game. We're kind of seeing it here in the past couple minutes.
Missouri at 1 point led by 9-0 in this game. Alabama on a 12-2 run. Make that 14-2. As J.D. Davison takes it all the way to the basket and has a nice little finger roll to lay it in. 14-11, Alabama leads. Missouri on the other end of the court, Coleman. Now Kobe Brown checks back into the game. They'll swing it all the way around to the far side corner. It's Brazil. Brazil now to Pickett. Pickett, jumper for two, mid-range. It's good. 14-13, Alabama still leads. 13.5 to play. Other end of the court now for Alabama. Nice turn right there from Noah Gurley. Finger roll at the rim does not fall in, and Missouri grabs the rebound. Coleman on the other end of the court now for Missouri, dribbling right at the Tiger Head logo. He'll hand it off to Kobe Brown this time. Brown takes it inside, kicks it out. Brazil. Now Caleb Brown for three, no good. Kobe, his brother, grabs the rebound, and a foul called on the rebound against Alabama.
What an incredible offensive board by Kobe Brown. He just went through both Jaden Shackelford and Noah Gurley, got the ball, and drew the foul. Kobe Brown's not your 7-footer, 7'2" kind of guy. That's just a gritty play right there, an incredible board.
And the foul was called against Gurley, his first one of the game for Alabama. As they make a substitution, checking into the game is Keon Ambrose Hilton for the first time as Gurley checks out. Jordan Wilmore checking into the game, the 7'3" center from Laurel, Maryland. Checks into the game for Missouri for Trevin Brazil. Missouri has it on the inbound. They'll hand it off to Wilmore. Now back to Coleman in the corner. Coleman will dribble all the way around the arc, then reset outside.
Jordan Wilmore is currently 6 inches taller than anyone else that's on the court.
In the hands of Javon Pickett right now. Pickett will kick it in the corner. Kobe Brown taking a three and knocks it in. Missouri reclaims the lead.
This is the duality of the Missouri Tigers roster because now Kobe Brown is your guard. You're going to figure out how to defend it. Jordan Wilmore comes off the court. He's playing the 5.
And Brown has 9 points right now. 12.5 to play here in the first half. Missouri leading 16-14. Davison has it for Alabama. He'll drive, gets double teamed, nearly loses away, has to pick it up right on the baseline and kick it all the way out to Ellis. Now Shackelford, 8 seconds on Alabama's shot clock. Shackelford pulls up for three, no good. Rebound falls for Missouri in the hands of Coleman. Coleman taking it up the court right now on the left-hand side. He'll dribble all the way to the Tiger logo. Now kick it to Caleb Brown in the near side corner. Nearly has his pocket stripped, and Kobe Brown has to clean it up, pick it right up at mid-court. Javon Pickett now has it, dribbling right at the top of the key. He'll try and drive on Ellis. Pickett will take it himself, put up a two-pointer. It's good. 18-14 Missouri. Gina Rivera here, the senior from Chicago, Illinois, representing Alpha Chi Omega with one of the largest fan bases here in this building so far tonight. Round number 1 between Riley Vogler in the red, Gina Rivera in the black and blue. And Vogler immediately pushing the tempo, getting a big right hand against Rivera. Going right at her, landing another one. Gina trying to respond here. Vogler trained in MMA in high school, landing every single combination against Rivera's head here But Vogler's had to make the transition to boxing over the past couple weeks or so. Rivera with a big left hand as well and knocks down Vogler. Gina Rivera, the southpaw, took a beating in the first 10 seconds from Vogler. Responds huge with a huge left hand to knock down her opponent Vogler. Coming out of the break is Rivera, still pressing on Vogler, landing 2 left hands there. Vogler spinning Rivera around here. A big right hand coming from Vogler this time. Going right at each other. Both these fighters clearly looking for a finish. Aren't worried about going the distance. They want to finish this right here, right now. Following their press conference last week, one of the most intense ones we saw last Saturday at Willie's. Rivera still pushing on Vogler with her left hand. Vogler did not have a southpaw training partner as round 1 comes to an end. What a first round that didn't even feel like 90 seconds here between Riley Vogler and Gina Rivera. Rivera was one of just 4 fighters here tonight fighting who was signed up and was training to fight in the 2020 fight night that just got canceled due to COVID-19 3 days before the event. She's been waiting over 2 years for this night. She went through training the first time around and said she's like the mom of her Tuesday, Thursday training group with Dallas Jennings, her coach, her trainer. Dropped a whole weight class for this fight, she said in the press conference last week, to fight Riley here tonight. Vogler was able to land a bunch of big shots there early in the first round. Rivera responded very well with a knockdown of her own. One thing to look for Vogler, she mentioned that, she said once she gets hit a few times that self-confidence could be an issue. It's Rivera again coming out with her left hand here to start this second round of 3. Gina Rivera pushing Riley Vogler all the way to the fence and still big left hands coming. Vogler in response is able to land a combination, but still Rivera pushing the tempo, dazing Vogler all the way at the cage wall, and a break called between these two. Vogler's nose open up. Clearly. And we'll continue here in round 2. The time is going here, but they'll just face off against each other and circle each other. Vogler said she wants to try and out-quick Rivera and try to control the tempo, which she did in the first 10 seconds of the fight, but it's been all Rivera ever since. It's Rivera still. Vogler trying to land these combinations here on the counter, but still Rivera with her left hand and right hand. Vogler standing strong. Right hand lands there for Riley. Couple body shots as well. Final 10 seconds of the round here between Vogler and Rivera. And each fighter will head to their respective corners here for the third and final round coming up. Rivera was able to land a shot there right as the bell sounded, maybe a little bit after as well. It was Sarah Swanson credited with a point on the last attempt. Up to serve now, Sammy Jacobs for Alabama. Dug out by Missouri. Center of the court now, blocked by Alabama. Lands out of bounds. Point for Missouri. 12-10, Alabama still leads. It was Trista Strasser sending it right into the Alabama block. Kendall Ray couldn't get her hands fully around it. Lands out of bounds in favor of Missouri as Kaylee Cox is back to serve now for Missouri on the near-hand side. Floated up to the center of the court, dug up by Missouri. Ray hits it over for Alabama and finds the back corner as Missouri players are all just looking at each other. 13-12, Alabama leads here in the third set.
Yeah, and that ball's assignment was unclear for Kaylee Cox. Between Kaylee Cox and Skylar Buckley, drops it right there in the back for the Alabama point.
Shook serves for Alabama. Strasser tries to send it over right into the Alabama block. It lands just out of bounds after Missouri hit it last. Out of bounds again for Alabama. They get another point, 14-10 they lead here in the third set.
Yeah, and Alabama is starting to slip away from Mizzou here. And Mizzou has got to improve their sets if they're going to cut back into this one.
After the serve, Missouri having work to do to bump it back over. They eventually get it over off the hands of Dixon. Alabama side of the court. McElroy hits it over. Missouri digs it out. Dixon has a go at it, takes a block, and still alive for Alabama now as McElroy sends this into the net. Missouri gets the point, trailing 11-14 here in the third set.
And a lot of discombobulation there by Alabama, who I think might have been expecting McElroy's initial heater to just drop right there, but Buckley was able to cut that off and dig that out, which ended up setting up a Mizzou rally that resulted in their point.
And again, wiping up the Alabama side of the court, Trista Strasser just awaiting to serve for Missouri. The 6'4" freshman middle blocker from Kyle, Texas. Already had an ace earlier in the game in the first set. That makes 11 on the season for Strasser. Her serve dug out on the back line for Alabama. Hit over from the middle blocker right in the center of the net. Returned by Missouri with Dixon. Still on the Alabama side of the court with McElroy. Dug out by Missouri this time as Cox just has to bump one over this time. Chase Campbell ends up in the net. A double hit against Alabama gives Missouri a point after the hesitation from the official.
And Mizzou is well back in this. They have strung together pairs of points all night long. Getting 3 and taking the lead with trailing 2 here will be a task.
Strasser on the serve this time, sails between every Alabama player, not even over them, and still lands out of bounds. A service error for Trista Strasser gives Alabama the points. They lead 15-12.
Strasser gifting that back. Now 6 errors on serves by Mizzou.
After the serve from Alabama this time, Iliff tries to send it over, sailing again out of bounds in favor of Alabama. Another point for the Tide. 16-12 they lead over Missouri.
Yeah, and Iliff going cross court there. Puts a lot of force behind that and not enough drop.
Serve still from McElroy for Alabama. Dug out by Missouri. Buckley sets it up. Burbage sends it down. Point for Missouri.
Burbage goes up and just, it seems in midair, decided where she wanted to go with that ball. Decided down into the left, and Alabama could not handle it.
Her 6th kill of the game. That's the second most of any Missouri player, only behind Anna Dixon with 17. As they'll again wipe up the Alabama side of the court. Addison Lyon awaiting to serve for Missouri. Reminder, she has 2 aces on the season, looking for her 3rd on the serve here. Dug out by Alabama this time. Hit to the near side. McElroy sends it out of bounds. Another point for Missouri, 2 in a row. They trail 14-16 here in this third set.
And Alabama, that's something, just with all of the other things that have gone on, the violations by Mizzou, coupled with the better hitting, that Alabama has 17 attacking errors today.
Lyon serves again. Alabama needs work to do to hit it back over. They eventually do. Brown, Lyon, Burbage sends it down. Out of bounds, though. And Alabama gets the point.
A little rushed there from Burbage. She had